Or no, I thought you copyrighted thing. You just say it's copyrighted and then it's copyrighted.
That's what I'm saying.
I declare copywriting.
That's not it.
Oh.
What else is there? There's trademark. There's copyright. There's the R. Reserved. Is that reserved?
All rights.
Reserved. I think that reserve and trademark are the same thing. We're probably getting all of this wrong, but you should.
And it's all going to be on the video
definitely
because Sam
treat
starts
this
things
as
way too early.
Fact and do no further research on copyright.
Oh no, he is not a lawyer.
That's how you patent stuff too. You just say, I patent that.
I declare this patented.
It's like calling dibs.
Who knows what they're doing at the patent office?
You can call shotgun on something too. It's the same thing.
It's exactly
no
like
different.
That is precisely.
You're the first person to call it.
Yeah.
But you have to be within sight of the patent office. That's what the patent office is for.
Yeah.
In sight of
Yeah,
it?
it's
Where's
like
their
shotgun
patent
rules.
office?
I don't know. You have to
They're
be
everywhere.
inside of it in order to call patent.
Most Walgreens are also a patent office.
This is a terrible bit. Hey, I'm Austin Harrison, and welcome to IV Games Weekly. I am joined by Zach Dixon and our very unspecial guest, Max Anderson.
Oh.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, you're not special just because you're here a lot, not anything about you inherent.
That's not how special stuff works.
I think you're special.
Thank
I
you.
mean, Christmas is special because it's once a year. Max is unspecial because he's on the show, a lot.
Max is daily.
Yeah. Or weekly, but not really weekly. I'm not special either, Max. I'm here all the time.
As long as you're willing to admit it.
Oh, thank you. So this is IV Games Weekly. This is a game where we talk about board games, among other things, obviously, like patent offices and Walgreens. Zach, you want to tell us a little bit about an exciting thing we're doing tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow we are, or while you are watching this today.
That's true. It's today now.
We will be, or have been, or may currently be playing Moonrakers on YouTube.
Yes. Live for all to see.
And so that's at 2 p.m. today, Friday the 31st, Central Time.
Nice.
And
you said Central Time.
But if you're a little late, it'll be up on YouTube, so you can either get started a little later, just watch it pre-recorded. We're gonna have a good time. Sam's gonna be joining us. Austin's gonna be playing. I'm gonna be playing.
Yep.
Sam's behind the cameras, cutting live right now.
Go blue.
Go. I will win. So I will
He's
have already
be...
won by the time you watch this.
Actually, it's
my money's on Sam.
It's funny enough. Sam has won the majority of our 3-player games.
That's because I haven't been trying. I've been testing the game up until this point.
Right.
And now
it's done.
Now that it's done, now I play to win.
It's on its way. It's being, it's done manufacturing, and it's just cutthroat from here on out. Okay, cool.
That's every game I play. I feel that way. I'm just testing it and letting other people win.
Yeah. It's just for fun. The point of the game is not to win. The point of the game is to play a beautiful game.
I kind of like that actually. No, I don't.
I stole it.
So
I don't.
I stole it. It's not. It's from a wise man's sphere. I stole it.
A wise man's spear?
Fear? It's a game by Patrick Griffiths.
What?
I plugged this last week. I can't do it 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, I probably should though. But we also did something very exciting.
Oh yeah, big news.
This week.
It was last week. It was on Friday.
Who can remember?
We
announced a new game. Let's all say it together.
Veiled Fate.
Veiled Fate
is now live.
I was sending a countdown.
You got to be ready.
Oh no.
Veiled Fate. Go follow us on
all the places.
Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
And like us on Facebook. We're
Google.
sharing art. We got the website live right now, veiledfate.com.
The website is very fun to look at.
Yes.
You can't say that you made it.
I know I can't say it. It looks fine. It could be better, but we'll keep working on it.
I am so excited that I'm allowed to say Veiled Fate on the show now because I've already said it once accidentally.
You have.
But now I don't have to worry about saying it again.
Yep.
If you want to check out Veiled Fate, please join our Discord. It's veiledfate.com, and then there's a Discord button up in the top right-hand corner. We talk about it even more there, and we talk about board games and Moonrakers and a bunch of other things there. But you can actually play Veiled Fate now on Tabletop Simulator. So if you want to come hang out, especially because it's Gen Con weekend, happy Gen Con day, everybody. Come play games with us.
Yeah. Also sign up for the mailing list. That's a great way to just make sure you don't miss any big announcements. So you can do that on veiledfate.com.
Yep.
But yeah, we got a whole big social post. We're going to be posting pretty much every day, new stuff from the game, different art, tons of promo stuff. We got a lot of different stuff planned for Veiled Fate. Very excited about it. And we've been doing something very fun. So there are miniatures in Veiled Fate. So this is Agamar that we printed. We bought a Form 3, I think.
Yes.
That's the one. Not the large one, just the regular one. And we've been printing these miniatures. And this is Agamar, who is on our Instagram if you want to go see it. And then this is poor Balin, which Austin hates apparently because he has no head. Because Austin decapitated him and took off his arm.
Okay.
So
I want to point out that I was not intentionally cutting his head off. It was the support system that Zach designed was too attached to his head. So when I cut the support system,
I saw you. It was like a voodoo
I
doll
was sitting-
situation.
I
You were
was
like
sitting
looking
right
at my
next to you.
head while cutting it, like seeing what would happen to my face.
I was trimming the supports off of all the 3D prints we did, and they were like raining down on Zach's keyboard
That's
while
true,
he was
they
trying
were.
to type. It was pretty fun.
I was trying to get some work
trim
done.
You were
all of the.
You were
minis
holding
right
it
next to
over
Zach.
his desk while you were doing
No,
it?
they were just flying everywhere.
Oh. It sounded intentional. Just like clip.
The arm made me more sad because I really didn't expect it to come off. I think, was the arm first or second?
I don't remember.
Anyway, it's not
I was
important.
trying to get work done.
I hate
you
Bellin,
know.
apparently. Least favorite character on Veiled Fate. So today we are talking about a special topic that I'm really excited about because I love long games. But we're talking about how long should games be? What's the length of games? What's your ideal length of games? So let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah, Max, what's your ideal game length?
Oof. What day is it? Who am I with? There's
It's
a lot of-
Thursday. You're with us.
All right. 2 hours.
2 hours.
Like I don't want to sit with 8 people and play a 4-hour game.
But I mean,
I take that back. Maybe I would.
maybe you would,
That's fair.
especially now that.
So here's my take on this,
Oh, no.
which is really not going to play well into the next segment after this. But I
Ooh,
think
tease.
games should never be longer than 3 hours because that is just outrageous.
Wait,
And-
why though? Back it up.
Okay. In the same way that movies should not be longer than 3 hours.
Okay. This
So
is a bad example.
So like, it's like it's a bit self-indulgent, but also is there a game that I like? Okay, so you don't want to play a game where somebody's you're going to lose and you have to sit in it for a super long time, right?
That makes sense.
And you don't want to sit in a game for a while when there's a clear winner for like an hour. That's not fun.
But those are just bad game designs, not a length issue.
Well, sure, but then like, what is there value? Like, is there value in just like staying in that like we're all basically neck and neck for 2 hours, and then it's just like, and then the game just unfolds to a place where there's like a winner at the end, or like I don't know. I just think it's like,
You think the middle's too long?
yeah, I think that like middle state of just like if the game is well designed and plays at like 3 to 6 hours, that middle state is essentially just going to be a tie game, and there's not like that much like I don't know setup happening. Does that make
So-
any sense?
I don't
So-
think so.
I
No?
disagree as
Like-
well. Max, do you want to go? Because
Well, it's just like there's a lot, like the middle ground is usually where a lot of very strategic positional play happens for the end.
it's the meat.
And so like all of that time, it's essential to like how the end unfolds. It's not just like pointless back and forth.
Well, I agree that it's not pointless, but like you still
Do you-
end at
do
the
you not
same
like
place.
it?
Like,
Are
Okay,
you just not having fun?
as an example,
well, if I'm playing with you guys, no.
Oh,
no.
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm
someone
just
you actually
kidding.
like.
as an
Yeah.
example,
if I'm playing with people I like, that's what we're talking about.
there's a very little known game that I really like to play called Twilight Imperium. And in the middle, there's usually someone in the lead. And by your explanation there, it's like, oh, that's not fun. Like they're just in the lead and they're going to win. But in Twilight Imperium, that causes everyone else at the table to be like,
Yeah.
all right, we have to strategically make decisions that help everyone else other than that person. Now, negative there, there's a little bit of dogpiling there, right? And no one likes being dogpiled on. However, in Twilight Imperium, there's a lot of back and forth of people getting stuff and like, well, yeah, I have 8 points right now, but I really have 0 way to get the other 2. And you start really doing a lot of table like negotiations, and that's the stuff that I like, that real deep table, like you're analyzing the board state, analyzing who has advantages, and then working with the people that are also disadvantaged to get ahead.
Sure.
And all of that happens in that really long middle part.
And it's much harder for a long game to be good.
Yeah.
And like that, so it's impressive when you're able to do it.
Sure.
And I don't think you can just write off long games just terrible. It's just really difficult to get people to play it, and it has to be like really, really good.
Well, yeah, and that's the other part. That's my other like knock against super long games is just like they're so hard to bring to the table, but especially like at the stage of life that I am in, and also with COVID, it's even like
it's harder,
more hard. But like having 2 kids and like,
I mean, Izzy's almost there.
You know, she'll be playing Twilight Imperium, I'm sure, when she's 4.
She already plays Gloomhaven.
Yeah, it's true. She loves taking apart those pieces.
We all do.
We all do. Yeah.
We all do.
But so like I feel like if you look at a game in like let's say like 3 acts, like you've got like Act 1, which is the first third, or really maybe first quarter.
Okay.
It's like you've got that like I'm learning the game, like you're getting your feet wet, and then the second act would be like the largest chunk. So maybe like half of the game is like you're jockeying, and you always want to come out, in my opinion, out of the second act kind of like neck and neck with everybody, and then like hopefully the things that you've been doing during that second act of a game have been setting up what you're going to do in the third act of the game, which is like really what puts you over the edge in the lead. But it's just like I think in a lot of games that are that long, if they are set up well, it's just like a really, really long stretch of that second act
where you're
like
all tied.
where you should be all tied, or the game is probably not very good.
Well, I mean,
good.
If you think of like
opinion, obviously,
Moonrakers, which is obviously way under this time limit that we're talking about, or like a long game, there's that natural catch-up mechanic. And I think there's that in longer games too, where it's like, yes, if there's someone that's out in the lead, like there are mechanisms in place that let those people work together to catch up or bring that person down. And so I don't think that that's necessarily true that you need to be neck and neck in that middle section. Does that make sense? Like
you think in a like truly great long game, you're saying it should be more of like a wave essentially, and then okay, I buy that. So then it's almost like and that's why I like a lot of games. I'm trying to think of some where it's like you as a player actually have like like agency in how long a game lasts.
Yeah.
And so like you're trying to like ride those waves and like trigger essentially the end of the game to be at like a place that's advantageous to you. So
in viticulture, I always think of the way that you play, because you get a bunch of points at the end. Usually.
Yeah.
Like you build that up to where you're making, so like it looks like you're not anywhere near the lead, and then suddenly you're there. And so I think there's that in games too, where it's like you're building this rolling thing. It has to get going, but by the time it's done, you're going to win unless the game's shorter than you think it's going to be, because someone does something with player agency that shortens the game. So I think, obviously viticulture is not a 3-hour. Well, it depends on who you're playing.
How many people
but it's not really that long of a game. But I think that same mechanic works in other games. I mean, if you look at Twilight Imperium, like someone that's building up tech really early on is investing in the future.
Sure.
And not necessarily going for points early in the game. That's not a great example, because if you're not getting points the whole game in Twilight Imperium, you're going to lose. But
and I think there's like, it's funny to see like how different a lot of these longer games choose to handle that problem, because like I think most long games don't have this like middle that you're talking about. They're 2-player versions of a lot of these games that have like an out, like if anyone's too far ahead, they win, or like that is it's just going to end earlier. Or there's games like Food Chain does this, where it's like it's a huge ramp up, like exponentially so, and it's most money at the end, but I'd say 3/4 of all the money dished out happens that last turn.
Oh, wow.
And so like the money you're getting at the beginning and middle of the game doesn't mean a whole lot if like you're able to sacrifice that for a more efficient like engine and kind of like come out on top. And so like, I don't know, a lot of those games I think work differently and do it well.
Yeah.
Which is a problem to solve.
Well, yeah, and that's interesting too, because like then is like also that's one thing. It's just like I feel like there's a lot of wasted time sometimes. Like I was playing Galaxy Trucker like a few days ago, and it's just like
Without me?
I know.
Dang it.
I was just getting like crushed, and then like I basically you have the opportunity to score like 3x points in the last round, and like nothing that anyone did in the first 2 rounds like had
Mattered.
anything to do with the outcome of the game, and that's not even a very long game.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I do think there's something to be said about like a grace period at a start of a game where like really the things that you're doing don't matter all that much, because it's a nice way to just kind of like it don't matter in that like the end of the game doesn't matter, because I think it's nice to start people off with like a little bit of a grace period. But that middle section,
afford
like,
to make
I
some
feel like
mistakes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that middle section's got to really like be all about setting up the end game.
It's funny that you brought that up, because that's almost what we just did with Veiled Fate.
Yeah,
So Veiled Fate is played over 4 rounds called Ages, but we ended
three now.
we ended up
Yeah, it's
changing it
3.
to 3
Yeah.
because you didn't really need that many rounds. I'm sure some people in the Discord will disagree.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah.
but like it almost was like it just delayed the end game a round without too much impact.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it made that middle section like a little bit too long. Like it really, I think it made actually probably the first act too long, because the age 1 and 2 of Veiled Fate, it was basically just like you could really do whatever you wanted, and it didn't really set up the end of the game. And so we ended up cutting it to get it down to a length that we felt nice. But that also gets into another thing, is like Veiled Fate plays up to 8 players, which is something that we really wanted to do. It's like it's really hard to get that many players to a table. What do you both think about like that balance between, or not balance, but like large player counts and playtime? Like,
Yeah.
More players, less playtime, for sure.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely what I feel like too. And the funny thing about that is most times when you add a player, it adds time.
Yes.
And that just makes sense. Like it has to, because it's like, well, someone else is taking their actions, taking their turns. And I do think that that's something that we managed to not fix, because it's not broken, but in our game, it adds a little bit more time, but you're still doing like all the players are moving up in Veiled Fate. It's not like it's just one person's turn, but they're only their players moving then. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I am curious, because the one thing that like I do think works really well is like a 7 Wonders or like a Sushi Go or something like that, with like the drafting mechanics.
Yeah, and it's like simultaneous a little bit.
Have you either played a game that has a drafting mechanic that is super long? Because I think actually a large player count game could function that way. 'Cause 7 Wonders only lasts what, like an hour?
Yeah, an hour.
90 minutes maybe?
I'm not a big fan.
Not a big fan of the mechanic or the game?
7 Wonders. Well, I mean, or the mechanic,
Well,
I
there's
guess.
lots of
Because
versions too.
it's just, first time I played it, I felt like at the end of the game was when I thought the game was going to start. Like, I felt like I was building something up, and then it was just, here we're counting
over.
points. And I was like, wait, but what about the actual game? I've just
Wow.
built something.
Wow.
I honestly think I had a little bit of a similar reaction. The first time I played, I was playing with people that had played many times, and so I was just way confused the whole time. And then was like, I really feel good about this thing that I've built. And then it was like game over, and I hadn't gone for points yet. So it was, yeah. I mean, you go for points the whole time, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. This makes me want to make a
drafting game.
a drafting game that's like maybe really long. I don't know. But I don't like long games.
I think
Is what
drafting
I've
is really
stated
great.
earlier. I don't know if I agree with it, but anymore, at least.
Yeah,
You'll-
maybe we convinced you.
No.
I mean, no one,
I don't know. I have
no one's
mixed-
convinced
I have
of
mixed
anything
feelings.
these days.
Okay, what about short games though? What's the shortest game that you've played
Tic Tac Toe.
that you would play again?
Oh no, not that.
What? It's like it's a
You
terrible
asked for the
game,
shortest
honestly.
game
no,
I've
okay, that I've
played.
played. Okay, I understand it now. No, shortest game that you have played that you want to play again. I love letters, Max. You show me that, and that's what
Love
maybe
letter.
takes. Love letter. Just a single love letter.
Yeah, just one.
Just one.
What
Yeah.
does that take? Probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. And that's a really solid game.
Yeah, that was really nice. 2-player only, I think. No, it plays 2 to 4.
I think it.
2 to 4.
I don't know.
Cockroach Poker is also great and plays quite a bit of people.
I decided I don't like cockroach poker.
Oh no.
You just decided one day?
I just decided just right now. No. Last time I played, I don't know. They just, I think the group I was playing with really liked it, and they just wanted to keep playing. And I think I just wanted to move on to
I
a
love
different
that.
game.
That like, yeah, I've had that happen with games too, where it's like, there's a game I bought called Magic Maze, and loved the idea of it, and it's like a real time thing, and so everyone's just moving these pieces around, and the group I was playing with loved it, and I was just like,
this is just the warm up.
This is all right. And it's just like that was the only thing they ever wanted to play for the next few months, and so I got rid of it. I was like, I don't have it anymore. Yep, in the trash.
was smart.
Did you actually throw it in the trash, or did you just sell it?
No, I saw that.
Okay.
I'm over here racking my brain thinking of like a really short game that I like, and
There just are none.
I'm not coming up with any. Like, I like shorter games, like where you can play multiple rounds. Like Azul, you can play multiple rounds of, like in a night with like 1 or 2 people, 3 people, whatever. Like Sushi Go with like lighter crowd, like there's 3 rounds of that.
That's pretty quick,
but
yeah.
it's not that quick. Like I love playing that game with like, you know, junior like entry level board game people. But as far as like games that I would enjoy playing with like you, I can't think of too many games that I like that are shorter.
Yeah, that's true.
There also aren't many really big games that are short.
Big in what way?
Like physical size of a game.
That would be so funny. It's like a Gloomhaven sized box and it's a 20-minute playtime. It's like,
Well, it's
Which I assume-
at that point, like setup is longer than the game
Exactly.
itself.
I think
so.
that's the problem. Is you can never have that.
let's make
Well, I
one of
guess
those.
if you're gearing up for like 20 rounds of it,
That's true.
Sure.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting concept of like, can you do a big box short game?
I think, let's see, other short games, that like roll and writes are pretty short.
Oh, I
like
love
Railroad
paint
Ink
games.
or-
Yeah. We just backed a bunch of those.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
Oh, that's exciting.
yellow and green, I think.
Oh, like actual railroading
yeah,
games?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I need to play more roll and write games.
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
my first.
you guys
first
play
entry.
Welcome to
I have
your
not yet.
And
new
I got it for Christmas. I have not played it yet.
favorite neighborhood.
I think
don't know, I
yeah,
can't
something
remember.
neighborhood. Welcome to your. Yep, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, very good. Love
It's
it.
Mr. Rogers' game.
Oh yeah, Daniel Tiger. Do you watch Daniel Tiger?
Izzy does, yes.
Yeah, Bauer loves it. They don't play board games on that. They need to do that.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
We should
let's-
have Daniel Tiger on the show.
I'm all for that. That'll be a special topic. What games would you play with Daniel Tiger?
It's a terrible special topic.
Okay, so medium length games is I think where everyone can agree. Like you can find a medium length game that is fun for any group.
Sure.
And I don't
Yeah.
think any of us are like against that. But like obviously you lean a little bit on the shorter side, Zach, and I'm a little bit.
What
on
are we
the
calling
longer side.
medium? Hour to 2 hours?
Yeah, I would say like 1 to 2 hours.
Hour and a half, probably.
As like the average. Yeah.
We're talking about real playtimes though, not like
Not box
advertised
game times.
playtimes.
Yeah. Actual play times.
Why are
Because
these always so different?
Oh,
They're so different.
It's so wrong.
Like, what are we doing?
I feel like we've messed up
What
a little
are we
bit by
all
putting
doing?
our actual play times on the box because no one does that.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, this game's going to take at least 3 hours. Like, no, we're serious. We believe that this is how long it will take.
Yeah, like when we made Moonrakers, like we were like, we'll put 60 minutes on there, and they're like, that's not actually how long games are, and so we made it longer on the box
Yeah.
because it was not true. But I mean, some of the games we're going to talk about in this next section say they take like 3 hours and take 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like they're just like 3+ hours. It's like, okay, I mean, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. It took 2 days, but
Yeah.
it was 3+ hours. Anyway, Max, where do you fall? Do you have favorites in all 3 categories, or would you always prefer to play one length of time over the other?
Oof. I think as people are more willing, I will always go up in playtime.
Same.
You'd rather play just one game rather than do 2 in like a game night?
Yeah, I will cater to the group, but if they're willing, I'd go long.
All right.
I'm the same way. Well, I mean, it obviously depends on the group. My wife has said she will never play Star Wars Rebellion with me, and that makes me a
Again
little sad.
or ever?
Ever.
Like, she's never played it and
played
she
it.
never will?
No, never. She's seen it played too many
respect
times.
that.
Yeah,
I got Sarah
that's
to
how you
play
feel
it.
about Azul.
She liked it.
That is also my opinion of Star Wars Rebellion. No, it isn't true.
That hurts.
We just played it one. I will play it with you, Austin.
Okay, we'll talk about that in the next section.
We'll talk about this another time. Okay.
Not right now, Zach. Speaking of the next section, you want to move on to that?
Let's do it.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. So, in light of the special topic, we decided to pick our favorite game that we like above 3 hours. So, I personally love this topic because all my favorite games are in that. Well,
True.
not
And
all of my
I didn't
favorite
know how you were
games.
going to decide. I didn't think you could do it.
It's true. I did.
Did you actually pick one game, or are we
Oh no, I'm
going to
talk
five
about.
games?
I'm going to talk about both of your game
Buckle
and
in,
my
everybody.
game.
Yep, it'll be
But
a long
Austin's
one.
going to teach us how to play Star Wars Rebellion, and that's what we're doing right now. I know it. I know it's going to happen. He's been trying to get me to play it for
You've already
years,
played it. All right, so
and it's behind the couch, isn't it?
it's behind you on the screen, actually. So Zach and I love board games. We're playing together. This is how Moonrakers got started. Is we just played a lot of board games together. We used to play with Max, but he moved away. Anyway,
Sorry, guys.
Rebellion has been the game that I was trying to get Zach to play with from the first time that I have played it.
You know why he moved away, right?
Oh, dang it.
So he went up to play Star Wars Rebellion with you.
Oh, no. Anyway, so I'm a huge Star Wars fanboy. I'm actually wearing a Star Wars themed shirt. But this game does the amazing job of making a very strategic board game mixed with a very thematic movie. And it unites those two things, in my opinion, perfectly with the expansion. Before the expansion, not as perfectly. But Zach, I finally convinced Zach to play this game, but it was with two other people.
Yeah.
And it was late at night. And by the end, Zach was like, I'm going to go home.
I mean,
'Cause-
I did not go home.
Who went home?
We collectively decided that we were going to stop playing.
Oh, that hurt. I cried the entire drive.
I know. I do want to give it another chance. Truly.
Okay. And one-on-one, do
and
not
one-on-one,
play.
yeah.
Do not play this game 2v2. I know it says it can. That was my first time ever playing 2v2. It was not fun. It is exactly like all the problems that you have with any cooperative game or game with teams where there's like tons of quarterbacking.
Yeah, and the difficult part, truly for me, is just like I don't like. That's the other tough part about super long games. Is just like I don't want to lose. I don't want to invest 3+ hours in something that I know I'm going to lose the first time, and so it's really just like hard to do. Because like the only way that I know that I'm going to be able to do that, because like the strategy, you're basically just be like, you're going to want to do this right here.
You
now.
should do this,
And,
otherwise the game's over.
and that's just.
That's not fun.
But
for anybody.
I'll do my research. We're gonna do it.
All right. So the great thing about this game, if you have not played it, it's in the top 10 games of all time on BGG. It is a very popular game. But the great thing about this game is that it is completely asymmetric as to what you were trying to do. The Rebellion is trying to keep their base hidden, and they're trying to get victory points. And the Empire is trying to find the Rebel base before time runs out. And basically you have this tracker where the Rebel victory points are going down and the time of turns goes up. And if those 2 points meet before the Empire finds the Rebel base, the Rebels win. It's got some really great intense moments. It's got some great dice rolling when you really need to win a battle and you just barely make it by the skin of your teeth. It's got just really, really great thematic moments. It's got all the heroes. I love this game. I've played it, I would say, close to 30 times. I was undefeated for the first 20 of those. That's the great thing about owning the game and playing it way more than all your friends. But then I played against someone that had played a lot too, and I finally lost, which sucked. But
Yeah.
Who was it? Who dethroned you?
it was my cousin, and I think I bought him the game for Christmas, and then he played it a bunch with his friends. So I'm actually kind of salty about it. Never should have let him play it.
That's maybe also why I just can't take losing to you.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't played yet. I know
He was like, I never want to lose the
can't-
game to Austin.
I can't take it. I just couldn't do it. Have you played, Max?
Yeah, a couple times. First one was a team one,
Oof.
and
How'd you like
I
that?
think it was good to learn at.
Yeah, had the other
my
people
team-
played?
All three had.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
I felt like I was just along for the ride, and my favorite thing about it though, like the scale of it, like
It's big.
you feel, I don't know, like looking at that whole map and seeing all those, like all the ships and everything is just a nice feeling. It feels like you are some kind of general, kind of
It really does.
changing stuff around.
It is funny that this says 180 to 240 minutes. So that's 3 to 4 hours. I would say most of these games have taken me 5 to 6 hours.
Oof. Is
It
there
just
a?
does.
Have you done any tabletop simulator?
I
games of
have.
this?
I've actually played against Bobby from the Discord.
Nice.
Bobby, I swear we'll finish
Bobby.
that game eventually. We have an active game right now, and it's been active for like
Are you gonna win?
I mean, probably.
Where's
but
the rebel base?
I don't even remember which faction I am, to be honest with
wow.
you. It's been
Oh,
that
wow.
long since.
But
I,
still confident he's going to win.
I think I'm the
I don't
Empire.
even know what team I'm on, but I'm gonna win.
I think I'm the Empire. I don't remember. Yeah, I've played it on tabletop. The great thing about playing on tabletop is you get to save it and come back to it. The bad thing about tabletop is you get to save it and come back to it and you forget which faction you're even playing. So, but yeah, I would say that if you have a chance, play this game with someone that owns it first and see if you like it, because once again, it is a very long game and it's very cat and mouse. And so you might not like it. You might be in Zach's camp of, I don't know if I want to play that again, but Austin's my friend, and so I'll play it again eventually. But for me, this game, if you like Star Wars and you like grand strategy games, this is the best game out there for you.
Wow, the best.
If they like those two things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It feels very similar to War of the Ring.
Yeah, no, and actually I should have thought about that game.
Do we own that? Do you own that?
No, I want to own it really bad.
Is it
There's an
also Fantasy
expansion
Flight?
for Max.
What?
Is
it
it a
all-
Fantasy Flight game?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it might be.
Checking.
They have the Lord of the Rings franchise, so but it's an older game, so it might be pre that.
It is pretty old.
No, Ares games.
Nice. Okay. You can get an expansion pack that has Ents, and that just
Ooh.
sounds really cool.
Sounds
All right.
great.
I almost just got that expansion pack without the game, just to have.
Just for the ends.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have tons of Star Wars Armada ships, and I don't get to play that very much, so it's worth it sometimes for the models.
This is just your life. A long list of games that you have not gotten to play as much as you would like.
That's true. As much as I would like is the key word there.
Yes.
All right, Max, I'm excited to hear about this because I actually have not played this game. You want to tell us a little bit about Twilight Struggle?
Yeah. So this game is the best. Like, it is.
What's it?
Man.
It is not the best. It is ranked number 9
It's
overall.
ranked number 9. So
What's Rebellion at?
7. Suck it.
Wow, something's wrong there.
number 1 in war, though.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll fix it.
So not all too different. 2-player, asynchronous game. This one just happens to take place in the Cold War, everyone's favorite war. And and you're taking either the U.S. or the USSR, and you are trying to get the best control of all these different countries. And it's not through like battles, it's through like influence. And I have to admit, the game looks so boring. like it's just a map and there's just all these numbers on it. And I didn't think I'd like it that much. And it's just one of those games, there's those songs that you listen to and you're like, this is a pretty good song, and then it just gets better each listen.
I'm kind of surprised it's number 1 in war, considering it's a Cold War. Like, it's not actually war. Well, and it's war, but like there's
It's
not
a war.
people fighting.
There's war in the title.
But it's like the number. Okay.
No, I agree.
Like
It's-
a Cold
it's a
War.
tough-
But like when you think of
Yeah.
war games, you think of tanks and guns or swords and
Sure,
like
sure,
charges with cavalry. Like
Or
that's
even just
not
type of game. Yeah, it's just there's not a
a war game. I would not have
yeah,
said
yeah. I know what you
this. And so it's interesting that it's number 1 in that, which kind of speaks to how good it must be.
it just had to be number 1 somewhere, so they found a place. And I agree. But the game is it goes deep, like real deep. And when I looked up stuff initially just to get a little better at it, you're like, okay, I don't know any of the things you're saying right now. This they're just calling out specific cards and explaining stuff as if like you'd be an idiot to not have done this move to start out the game.
Obviously.
And to give you an idea of the depth,
Let's see
I
it.
do have a prop.
Let's see it.
A prop.
I have a friend that I play with. We play on the app. And great app, by the way. Highly recommend it.
Like phone app?
Steam app.
Steam. Okay.
I think it's on your phone too.
No way.
I don't know. Don't
I'm going to
quote
start
me,
playing this.
Yeah.
but I'm almost positive it is. And he sent me something.
A little present?
A little present, and it's a strategy guide.
Is that a
I don't-
binder?
Oh
my gosh.
Oh my gosh. It's so thick.
Are you sure that's not the campaign
It's so
for North
thick.
Africa? Is that what that game's called?
It is.
It's got
got
tabs. It has colored tabs.
because there's a early war, mid war, and late war,
No.
So about a quarter of it's probably just like general strategy, and then it is literally just a page or 2 pages per card in the deck.
Sounds like a real page turner.
All of that is so important, and it's just like I don't think he thought I would actually read through it,
But you did. But you did.
like it. So it would just go through a card, and it's like, here's a good idea of like when to play that, and here are the powers it might have that you didn't think about before. And every one, I'm just like, whoa, this is deeper than I thought. I've played this probably, I don't know,
I've
50
never
times now.
wanted to play a game more and less.
How many games have you played of it? Did you
Probably
say
50.
50 times?
I thought I was impressive
Get
with
out
30.
of here.
Okay, but I will
of
admit,
Rebellion.
with people that are very familiar with it, and on the app, the games can run 2 hours.
Okay.
But that's
Like
$100.
I played this.
That's
I
100
played this
hours.
morning before work started.
Wow.
I destroyed him. I hope he watches this one because he just said he was gonna start watching these, and I want to explain. I destroyed him.
And is this your binder friend? The friend who sent you the binder?
Yeah.
That was a huge mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he never
it
should have
really
sent you that
was.
binder.
And so to talk about what we did before with like ways that it handles long thing, especially like 2-player here, the amount of like win conditions is just so many in this. Like first to 20 points would win it, but then there's all these like little things that can happen in between and really small mistakes.
There are
I played with Zach.
insta-loses in this game. We played one game. We played one game recently, and it was just like the amount of times that like half hour into this game that I was like one wrong click away from just losing was mind-blowing.
What about
It's
can
so
you win by
good. getting
getting to the moon? Is that a win condition?
No. The space race is great, but it does not get you a win. When we play with Zach, like on the first turn, like the end of their first turn, he played a card and it discarded another card from his hand. And if it had discarded just the other card, it was a 50-50 shot, he would have lost the game. He didn't know that.
I had no idea.
How
But I was
how is that
like-
even possible though?
It's a little too hard to explain, but he basically had a card left in his hand that if he didn't play it during that round, he would lose.
lost.
Yeah.
And so he needed that to discard, and it did. But
All right,
I was like,
so
you just almost lost this game.
I have time this weekend to play, so I'm gonna play against Zach, not Max, because that sounds like a death wish.
If we play against each other, one of us will insta-lose. It's just inevitable.
Oh, okay, so I do have to play
So
against
You
Max.
can play through a bunch of games. You guys would just be losing every
every
first
5 minutes.
round.
Hey, we've played 50 games too, Max.
Yeah.
5-minute games, 55-minute games.
Because I will say the ways, like when I was playing with real people in real life, when that was a thing, we didn't know the rules well enough to see a lot of that stuff, and so just continue on like it would.
I
But
see.
with the app, it's like it tells you,
Yep.
and you're
You're
like,
done.
oh, yeah.
It's over.
But highly recommend. I'd play with either of you anytime.
Sounds good. All right, I'll try it sometime.
I'll
And
send
then
you
I'm
a
gonna win
binder.
my first game.
There
It's gonna
is
be
an
great.
iPad app. It looks
Yeah.
like
Oh.
$6.99. That's
doable.
It's not bad at all.
That's
got an iPad.
another part of this game. The game itself is not expensive. It's like
Yeah.
$20-$30.
That's great.
And I feel like long games are usually big, and big games are usually expensive.
3.58 on the complexity. Rebellion was 3.7.
3.7.
I'm kind of surprised by that. It sounds like it's way more complex.
What is the game that I
No.
brought to the table?
Do you want to go into that right now?
We can. Is there anything else on Twilight Struggle? Should we-
I shouldn't.
you
I'm
shouldn't.
done.
I mean, like you could read us the binder. I mean, we could just do that.
I know. I'm
Ooh,
gonna stop.
that
I'm
sounds
not
fun.
gonna do that.
No, okay. Sorry. One
All
more
right,
thing. I
just
wanted
the
to
first couple pages.
Okay, yeah, just a
Yeah,
couple.
just a couple pages.
But my one knock. This is great. You all bring the games, and I just tell you the things I don't like about them.
Great.
That's how this show goes.
I can defend it. It's easy.
Okay, so no, my one knock against it is just like it is like chess in that as a beginner, you have zero chance at beating someone who like has played the game a lot because you just have to know like what cards are good to play when, and it's just like without studying a binder, you just can't do it.
So Zach wants a Twilight Struggle with more than 50% luck.
No. That is not what I want.
That's what I heard.
Wait,
I don't know.
Austin,
There's no way to
do
fix
you
it.
want to respond to that?
There's
Max?
no way to fix
Go
it.
ahead.
what? I just think it's wrong, and I
You just think
that
I'm wrong?
Yes.
Well, I think you're the problem.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I just think like if a game's fun to you and like if there should be some kind of like on losing like that, there should be some kind of a drive to like do better and
Totally.
want to like
I think
do
he just
that.
called you
Because
lazy.
it's not like I'm amazing at the game.
You have a
You're
binder.
just way better than me.
I didn't. If I made the binder myself,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
that'd be different.
Once again, Zach, it's not about winning. It's about playing a beautiful game.
A beautiful game, yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean that makes sense. I mean that's why I like chess. So like, I guess it's not I guess it's not really a knock. It's just like it just means that the game has depth, and that means that like you can get better at the game over time. So I guess I take it back. It's not a knock. It's just like part of a deep game that has like I don't know, just a lot of strategy, I guess, to it. I mean there are, but there are also like strategy games that you can pick up really well. Like the first time, you don't have to know like the meta of the game, I guess is really what I'm getting at. It's like
like a learning curve is different because I do agree with that because like it is much easier for a lot of these games if you start with someone in a similar place. Like
Totally.
And like that's why like it's just one guy that I play with all the time because we are pretty even in terms of how
Except
many
for you
times we played
crushed
the
him this
game.
morning.
And yeah, that was great. And
Well, yeah,
I was
and-
thinking about this with like Go. Like I would love to play Go, but
Sushi Go?
that feels like impossible to like get into like who's gonna play and it knowing how high it goes like strategy wise it feels so intimidating.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Is I feel like there is a genre of game, and this happens I think in like video games and stuff too, where it's like in order to be good at the game, you have to do like research outside of the game. Like you have to like I play a lot of like Clash Royale. I'm not like amazingly good, but it's like in order to be good at that game, you have to like keep up with the meta of the game. You have to like I have to like go on forums and see like what the decks are right now, like how to counter things, and like part of the game is like not in the game, it's outside of the game. It's like in order to be good at chess, you have to know like which openings are strong and why, and like you have to practice moves and all that stuff that happen like outside of the game.
Sure.
And that's more like a sport, I guess, in that sense, which I do think is really fun.
Which I think is fair. Is like the longer a game gets, the more it gears towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because Clash Royale is really, really long. Every game.
Yeah, every game.
Every game's
So
super
long.
No, I agree with you, Max. Especially with board games. The longer the game is, there's just way
That's what I
more
was talking about.
meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Board
No.
games.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Twilight Imperium.
Twilight
4th
Imperium.
edition.
No one's ever heard of this
Get
game.
that 3rd edition out of here.
This is ranked number 6 overall, so it's our highest ranked game.
It is
and
our
it's
highest ranked.
Also our most complex game at 4.21.
Oh wow, it's more.
That's so much higher.
That
It
is so much higher.
Considerably higher. I don't know if I'd give it that high of a score.
No.
I think like Twilight Struggle is probably. It's not more complex. No, I think it's maybe not more complex to learn, but it is more complex to be good at. Like I felt like
maybe that's what it
I
means.
felt like
Yeah.
the wonderful thing about Twilight Imperium is that like I felt by the time I got out of that early phase, like I had pretty much like there were things like I don't know if this is a good move or not, but like in general, I felt like I was like I could win. Like on my first playthrough on this
You did
game.
win your
and
first
I think I
playthrough.
did win my first game, and
Yep.
maybe that's just why I like it so much. And I feel a little bit funny about bringing this particular game because both of you have played this game way more than me.
It's true.
And are much more well equipped to talk about it. But you both loved it. You both got me into it, and I like.
We would play it more if you had time.
Oh, I know. I started the show out saying I don't really like long games, but I would play this game at any moment.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, definitely.
it's so fun. I love space themed games. Obviously, because
Yep.
we made Moonrakers, and so I love the theme. I feel like it's got this like great flow. I think it like sets up like the act structures like we talked about really well.
Yeah, really well.
I felt like all my decisions, especially during that long mid portion game, like build up in really interesting ways, and there are like different ways to win, like depending upon how you're setting yourself up. like the war is a big element of it, but is not necessary to win.
Yeah, I'm so
like
glad you
there's
said
just
that.
like so much going on, and it's like actually like I don't know, like it is weighty. Like I maybe had to spend an hour ahead of time watching YouTube videos to like
Figure it out.
know what I'm doing. But honestly, you do that for most games you play.
Yeah.
You go and watch some YouTube videos, but yeah, it's just a blast, honestly.
I went into my first 3 games that I ever played with like the total like domination. Like I'm going to win by killing everyone else on the map. And that is just not how you play Twilight Imperium.
No.
It really like discourages you from doing that, because if you're not scoring points, which you need the resources that you would be spending on armies, if you're not using those resources to also get points, you just have no hope of winning the game. I had the biggest army of the whole game the first time we played, and I think I ended with 4 points.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's like it doesn't incentivize. Now every once in a while you'll get an objective that incentivizes you to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's good. I like that there's, the threat of that. And war ends up being a big part of it, but it's not. You don't want to just steamroll everybody and not worry about anything else, basically.
Yeah, because pieces are so valuable in it, and like it's more about the threat of war than anything else.
It really
like,
is.
That's especially with like the control of the center. It's just how do you plan it out to like make someone not come attack you?
It's so fun. Every time I've played the game with an experienced person, they take Megatol Rex and they say, "But I'm not planning on keeping it. Don't worry, I'm not planning on staying here."
It's true. I always do that. Like
I always do that.
I will back out immediately. Like give me those couple points and
get
I'm
the
out
point.
of there. I don't want any part of it.
It's so funny though when it happens, because I recognize it immediately as I'm not going to stay unless it's easy to stay. Because like sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm not going to stay," and then they just like put another ground unit there, and then they put another ground unit there, and you're like, they're going to stay, and we all have to kick them off now. One
of the things I really like about it though is you have this like you have these really long builds towards tension. Like usually I think all the games I played, there's been three players.
Yeah,
and
which
so,
I would say is not a good play
It's probably
count.
not a
No.
good play count for some reasons that maybe we can get into. But
Yeah.
I just love that there's this huge build up towards a battle, or like it's like you like all the like house of cards are stacking up, and eventually like something tips it over, and then it just becomes like the whole game changes, and now you're in this like combat mode, and it's dramatic, but it's been like the tensions have been building this whole time.
Lots of
you're just
tension in this game.
jockeying, you're trying to get good position to put yourself in a good spot to win the battle, and then maybe you're not involved in that battle, but you're really interested to see how it works out, because you're trying to like figure out like how you can take advantage of like their war that's happening over there. Like there's just so many great like big moments.
Yeah, really true. So going back to the player count thing, the reason I don't like 3 players is that basically the first 2 people to go to war, the other person wins.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. It's not the rule, obviously. There's exceptions to that. But yeah, it's definitely something with 4 people, it balances out a little bit more evenly. You end up getting a little bit of like some alliances that are like kind of shaky, where it's like 2 people kind of like gang up on the other 2 people. And I really like the table diplomacy that happens. Because there's so much random negotiation of don't do that, please don't do that. I need you to pop that card next turn, not this turn. If you do it, I'll give you my trade agreement. And it's like, if you haven't played the game, none of that made any sense. But if you have played the game, you're like, yeah, I've done that a million times. So so many good things about this game. But I also want to talk about an announcement that happened today, which is Thursday. So yesterday for you watching, Fantasy Flight announced their expansion called the Prophecy of Kings. I don't know if I've seen an expansion that's almost
a big box.
Yeah, it's a huge box. It costs like $100. I think it costs nearly as much as you could buy Twilight Imperium 4 for right now. But I am very excited. There's I think 7 new factions, maybe 8. There's new ground units called mechs. There's 2 new colors, so now you can play with 8 people instead of 6. Can only imagine how much longer that game's going to be.
I was like, that's not what I wanted out of this game.
Yeah, no,
I wasn't like, I really wish I could play with 8.
Yeah, I mean, you go to like Gen Con and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there who
there are people that want to do that, but it's already a packed table. Like when you see a table playing Twilight Imperium, it's already packed. I can't imagine how much more packed it is with 8.
If you're playing Twilight Imperium with 8 people, congratulations.
Yeah,
you found 7 other people
like you
that will also want to play Twilight Imperium. Like, just good job.
Yeah,
And you found a whole day.
Yeah, you found a whole
Yeah,
day
and
that
you-
works for all 7 of you, all 7
Yeah.
other people. Yeah,
So I take it back.
It's a big feat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations.
I'm
Like,
gonna
I feel
do it.
like-
I'm gonna do it at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play with the 8 player. I don't think I want to do that normally.
He's counting on you there, Zach.
Yeah,
I mean, sure.
1, 2, 3. Sam, you in? Nope, Sam's not in.
He's not in. No, I mean, we'll just have to wait till our children get older, and then they're grounded if they don't play.
Ah, well, yeah.
There we go.
And if they don't give me their trade agreement, they're
Yeah,
also
yeah,
grounded.
also grounded. Wow.
Oh no.
It's tough life in the
All right.
Harrison household.
So those are 3 really great long games. Apparently, people do love long games because all 3 of those are in the top 10 games
They do.
on Board Game Geek. But it's hard to play these games.
It is. It's hard to get them to the table, but when you do,
They're great, unless you're Zach.
but when you do, and it's Twilight Imperium, it's great.
I wonder what the shortest game in the top 10 is.
Oh, that's a great question. I have played a very, very short game of Star Wars Rebellion.
That doesn't count.
It's Twilight Struggle when I play.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
He just flips the table after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've played like an hour game of Star Wars Rebellion. I tried to be very, very cheeky with my placement of my base, and they
Ooh.
accidentally stumbled on it.
Nice.
And had no reason to go there, and I'm still mad about it. But you know, that's how it happens sometimes. But yeah, I'm super pumped. I think I want to try to get you to play Star Wars Rebellion tonight. What you doing?
Oh, what am I doing tonight?
Probably
gonna
you know,
make
take
something
care of
up.
your kids.
I'm gonna go to bed. That's what I'm gonna do tonight.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, sleep well because you're getting beat at Moonrakers tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. I have to rest up so I can win.
Yeah. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. I'm sorry, today at 2 p.m. Central. And then, you know, if you miss it, it'll be on YouTube. So you can just go watch it after watching this video anytime. It's going to be a full playthrough of Moonrakers live. So if you want to watch it live, you can ask us questions. You can root for blue. There's lots of things that you could do. So
Purple. You're gonna root for purple, and I'll be wearing my purple hoodie.
yeah, he will probably be doing that. I think that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all we got. Go follow Veiled Fate.
Oh,
on
yeah.
all the socials and
Definitely
check out
do
the
that.
website. Join
Smash
us on
that like and subscribe.
Oh no.
Mash it.
Smash it,
Smash
smash it. If you want to come talk about Veiled Fate on the Discord, come play. Just
Please do.
just get in general and say, hey, I want to play Veiled Fate, and we'll tell you where to go. So
Yeah.
it'll be very fun.
Come hang out with us. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I feel like we need like an outro song that we could be like, you know, how they're sipping their coffee and they're basically just
I like that.
Like,
I could
"Ah,
do it.
really-
I'll
I
just
really
start
hate
humming
you."
it.
I forgot I was going to tear you apart because you were like, it's like a movie. You like don't want it to be 6 hours long. And I was like, okay, my favorite, Lord of the Rings. Like I would sit and watch all 3 of those movies back to back to back. Like don't.
It's indulgent though. Like it's.
Sometimes
The
you need to,
movie
you know,
thing made
self-care.
no sense.
Wait, what?
Like I said, your movie line?
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
make the most sense.
No. Like a book is long.
Yeah, a book takes 20
It's a
hours
different
to read.
medium. It's a totally different medium.
Same with movies and board games. Also
Yeah.
different mediums.
But it's an analogy.
You
Yeah, it
can't
was a
just
bad
pick.
analogy.
Yeah, but you picked a medium that was short
Well, of
and
course I
shouldn't be
picked an
long.
analogy that works for my argument.
I don't like when television shows are 4 hours.
Oh no.